If you're a man over 60 and your nights are ruled by the bathroom, if your stream feels weaker, your urgency more frequent, and your dignity slipping away, you need to hear this now, because one specific vitamin ignored by most doctors may be the missing link to shrinking your prostate naturally in as little as 18 hours. That's not hype. That's what real science and real men are starting to uncover. I'm Dr. Moitkara, a urologist and professor of men's health with over 3 decades of experience helping men, just like you, reclaim their strength, their sleep, and their manhood. And today, I'm pulling back the curtain on a truth the medical system has quietly buried for years. You see, we've been trained to believe that frequent urination and prostate problems are just part of aging. But what if the swelling, the urgency, the interrupted nights could be traced to a simple deficiency in 5 critical vitamins your prostate depends on to function? What if your body isn't broken, it's just starving in this video? I'm going to walk you through each of these 5 powerful vitamins, why they matter, what they do inside your prostate, and how to use them. Starting tonight, I'll show you exactly what to expect within 18 hours, 3 days, and 1 week. And by the end, you'll understand why the solution to prostate relief has been in your hands all along before we dive in. If you're serious about reclaiming your prostate health, naturally make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a life-changing tip made just for men over 60. And if you find this video helpful, type 1 in the comments to let me know it's working for you. If not, type 0. Your feedback helps me serve you better. Now let's begin with the very first and most powerful vitamin. Your prostate is silently begging for vitamin D. This isn't just a vitamin for bones or mood, it's the master switch for inflammation, hormone balance, and prostate repair. And if you're deficient, and most men over 60 are, this one simple nutrient could start shrinking your prostate and easing your symptoms in as little as 18 hours. Let me show you exactly how it works. Vitamin D, vitamin D, the anti-inflammation commander. I'll never forget one of my patients, Bill, 72 years old, sharp as a tack but exhausted. He came into my office with dark circles under his eyes and a frustration. You could feel, the moment he sat down, he told me, "Doc, I'm waking up 5 times a night to pee. I haven't had a full night's sleep in over a year. I'm losing my mind and I feel like my body is betraying me." Like so many older men, Bill believed this was just the price of getting older. But I looked at his lab results, and right there in bold numbers, it was staring us in the face. He was severely deficient in vitamin D, and in that moment I knew we had our first target. Vitamin D is far more than a vitamin. It's a hormone. It speaks directly to your cells and switches off the inflammation that causes your prostate to swell. Your prostate is rich in vitamin D receptors, and when they don't get activated, the tissue starts to grow thicken and choke off the flow. The result? Constant trips to the bathroom, interrupted sleep, weak stream, and a growing sense of helplessness. The research is clear. Low levels of vitamin D are directly linked to enlarged prostates and worse, urinary symptoms. But the powerful part is this: when you restore healthy levels of vitamin D. 3. Your prostate begins to calm down. The inflammation subsides, blood flow improves, and many men notice a difference in just 18 to 72 hours for Bill. The change was life-changing. We put him on 5,000 IU of vitamin D 3 daily, paired with K2 to help direct calcium away from the prostate and into the bones where it belongs. We also had him get 15 minutes of morning sun by day. 3. He called me and said, "Doc, I slept through the night, I forgot what that felt like." He got his rest back, his mood lifted, and his confidence returned, not because we gave him a drug, but because we gave his body what it was missing. And here's the part that still frustrates me. Most doctors don't check for this. They reach for prescriptions, surgeries, or alpha blockers, but they don't ask a simple question. Is your prostate screaming for vitamin D? If you're over 60, chances are high. You're low in this critical nutrient, but correcting it might be the simplest, most powerful step you can take to start shrinking your prostate naturally. And while vitamin D is the foundation, it's only the beginning. Because next, we're going to talk about the one vitamin that repairs damaged prostate tissue from the inside out, restoring flexibility, flow, and function in ways most men never thought possible. Stay with me. You don't want to miss this. Vitamin E2, vitamin E, the cellular repair mechanic. When I first met Raymond, he was 68, a retired engineer who prided himself on fixing anything machines' engines, broken doors. But sitting across from me, he said something I'll never forget. "Doc, I can fix everything in my house, but I can't fix this." His voice cracked just a little. This was his prostate frequent urgency, discomfort. A stream so weak he'd lost confidence. Just leaving the house, he tried supplements, he tried medication. Nothing seemed to work. What he didn't know, and what many men don't, is that the key to repairing a swollen, rigid and aging prostate may lie in one simple vitamin, vitamin E. Most people think of vitamin E as a skin supplement or an antioxidant for the heart, but very few know that specific forms of vitamin E, especially 2-trienols, go far beyond that. These aren't just antioxidants, they're cellular mechanics. They dive into damaged prostate tissue, neutralize oxidative stress, and begin restoring flexibility, circulation and function at the microscopic level. When I reviewed Raymond's blood work, I saw he'd only been taking basic alpha-tocopherol. That's the common form found in cheap multivitamins, but it's only one part of the equation. It turns out that tocotrienols, a rarer and more powerful form of vitamin E, are far more potent when it comes to reducing prostate volume, calming inflammation, and reversing years of cellular damage. I switched him to a full-spectrum vitamin E blend rich in tocotrienols and mixed tocopherols, and had him take it daily with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil. Within 2 weeks, something changed. He wasn't waking up 4 or 5 times a night anymore. His bathroom visits were down, his flow improved, and most of all, he felt hope. That's the magic of targeted cellular repair. Your prostate is made up of thousands of tiny ducts and muscle fibers when these become scarred or stiff from inflammation. And age symptoms appear, but when we feed your cells the exact nutrients they need, they begin to regenerate slowly, quietly, but powerfully. Vitamin E isn't just a supplement, it's a restorer, a rebuilder, a mechanic working deep within the engine of your manhood. And the change isn't always dramatic at first, but it's real, and it's lasting for men like Raymond. It was the beginning of getting his freedom back. Now here's where it gets even more interesting, because while vitamin E repairs tissue, the next vitamin we're going to talk about helps rebuild the very foundation of your prostate, your connective structure and detox pathways. Without it, your prostate can't drain properly, and inflammation lingers. But when you activate this next nutrient, things start to move, literally and powerfully. Don't go anywhere. This next one might be the most underrated of all, vitamin C3, vitamin C, the collagen builder and detoxifier. A few months ago, I had a gentleman named Charles come into my clinic. He was 74, a retired jazz. Ian, with a deep, thoughtful voice and years of wisdom behind his eyes. But that day his tone was different. "Tired, frustrated doc," he said. "I used to play trumpet all night, and now I can't even make it through the night without running to the bathroom 5 times. I feel like my body is wearing out." When we talked about his lifestyle diet and nutrient levels, something became clear. Like many older men, Charles wasn't getting nearly enough vitamin C. And what he didn't realise is that this wasn't just affecting his immune system, it was directly tied to the weakening of his prostate structure and his body's ability to detox and heal. You see, vitamin C is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining the connective tissue and blood vessel integrity inside the prostate. As we age, our natural collagen production slows down without enough collagen. The structure of the prostate becomes more fragile, less elastic, and more prone to inflammation and swelling. Vitamin C, helps rebuild that connective framework, giving the gland a chance to restore its proper shape and drainage. But that's not all it does. Vitamin C also plays a crucial role in flushing out toxins and supporting glutathione production. The body's master antioxidant, that means it helps reduce oxidative stress in the prostate, lowers inflammation, and clears waste products that otherwise sit stagnant and irritate the gland. When Charles started taking high-quality liposomal vitamin C, just 1,000 milligrams in the morning and another at night, something shifted. It wasn't immediate, but over the course of 10 days, his urgency started to ease, his trips to the bathroom reduced. He felt more in control, and for the first time in years, he said he was sleeping through the night. His words stuck with me. "Doc, I feel like I'm finally exhaling." That's the beauty of this nutrient. It's not flashy. It doesn't get the same attention as the fancy drugs or surgical options, but it works quietly and powerfully to restore the foundation of your prostate's function. It builds, it protects it, heals, and when combined with the right lifestyle, changes hydration movement and reduce sugar intake. Vitamin C can become one of your most trusted allies in prostate health. Now here's the part most men miss, because even if your tissue is strong and your body is flushing toxins, if your hormones are out of balance, the prostate will stay inflamed and agitated. And there's one particular vitamin that acts like a switch, calming down excess estrogen and helping testosterone finally do its job again. If your prostate feels stubborn and slow to respond, this might be the reason. Let's talk about it next. Vitamin B, 6,4 vitamin B6. The hormone balancer. I remember a man named Harold who came to see me at 70 years old. He was a former high school football coach. Still sharp, still proud, but clearly uncomfortable. He didn't like doctors. He told me, and he sure didn't like talking about his prostate. But after a long pause, he admitted, "Doc, I just don't feel like myself anymore. I'm tired all the time, and everything down there feels off." What Harold was describing wasn't just physical discomfort, it was a hormonal imbalance, plain and simple. And the unsung hero in this story, vitamin B6C. By the time most men reach their 60s or 70s, the body starts to shift in quiet but powerful ways. Testosterone drops, estrogen creeps up, and the prostate becomes the unfortunate battleground for that imbalance. Most men don't even realize it, but they're walking around with too much estrogen and not enough active testosterone. And that can lead directly to prostate swelling, sluggish flow, and emotional fatigue. Vitamin B6 plays a critical role here. It helps the liver detoxify excess estrogen, preventing it from building up in the body. It also supports neurotransmitter health, which is why some men feel clearer, calmer, even emotionally lighter after restoring their B6 levels. But what matters most for the prostate is that it helps bring the hormonal system back into balance, quietly but effectively. When I had Harold begin taking 50 milligrams of B6 in the active P, 5P form, we also added a full B complex to support the entire system within weeks. He came back, a different man. His energy had lifted. He was sleeping better. And for the first time in years, he said his prostate didn't feel like a ticking time bomb. Every time he stood up from the couch, he joked, "I'm not 20 again, but I'm a much better version of 70. That's the power of B6. It doesn't act like a hormone, but it gives your body the tools it needs to manage hormones intelligently the way it used to when you were younger. And when you support that internal balance, everything begins to shift. Less inflammation, stronger flow, deeper rest, and a renewed sense of confidence that comes from feeling aligned again." What's remarkable is how many men are low in B6 and don't even know it. Years of processed food, alcohol, and stress quietly deplete this vitamin, and the body pays the price, especially after 60. But there's one more piece to this puzzle, and it's one I wish more doctors talked about, because even if your hormones are balanced and your tissue is repairing, there's one silent threat that can harden the prostate and choke off blood flow from the inside calcium buildup. And unless you know how to redirect that calcium out of the prostate and into the bones, you might never feel fully free. Fortunately, there's one final vitamin that can handle that job, and it's more powerful than you think. Let me show you. 5 vitamin K, 2 vitamin K2, the calcium gatekeeper. Not long ago, I had a man named Ed walk into my office. He was 76, walked with a cane, and carried with him a thick folder of lab tests and prescriptions, years of chasing answers. He looked me in the eye and said, "Dr. Kara, I've done everything they told me. Meds, surgeries, diets. Why do I still feel like I've got a rock sitting on my bladder?" That rock in Ed's case turned out to be something most doctors never mention. Calcium buildup in the prostate over time. When calcium isn't directed properly in the body, it can collect where it doesn't belong. Arteries, soft tissue, even the prostate. And when that happens, the gland becomes stiff, inflamed, and unable to drain fully. You feel the pressure, the urgency, the loss of control. What Ed didn't know, and what many men don't, is that the vitamin responsible for preventing that hardening is vitamin K2. Not to be confused with K, which helps with clotting. K2 tells calcium exactly where to go into your bones and teeth. Not your prostate arteries or kidneys. When I added 200 micrograms of vitamin K, 2mK7 to Ed's regimen alongside his daily D, 3 things started to shift within 2 weeks. He reported feeling lighter, less pressure, less tightness. He told me, "I don't know what that vitamin is doing, but I don't feel stuck anymore." That word stuck is what so many men over 60 feel when calcium starts to harden. The very gland they depend on for relief. K2 works like a traffic cop redirecting misplaced calcium and protecting your soft tissues. Without it, all the D3 in the world can end up doing more harm than good, sending calcium into areas that make you feel worse, not better. But with it, your body works in harmony, blood flows more freely, tissue stays soft, and your prostate finally has a chance to breathe again. Vitamin K2 is rare in the modern diet. It's found in aged cheeses, egg yolks, and a Japanese fermented food called natto. But most men don't get anywhere near enough from food alone, especially after 60. That's why supplementation is often the missing piece. The final lever that helps everything else click into place. And for men like Ed, it's the turning point. Not just because it eases symptoms, but because it gives them back a sense of hope that their body isn't broken, that healing is still possible, even after years of frustration. Now, you might be wondering if these 5 vitamins are so powerful. What happens when you combine them? What kind of results can you expect in 18 hours, in 3 days, in just 1 week? And how do you put it all together into a simple daily routine that's actually doable? Even in your 70s or 80s, that's exactly what we're going to explore next. Stay with me, this is where it all comes together. Conclusion, the truth. No one tells you after 60. If you've made it this far, then you already know. Your prostate doesn't have to control your life. The late-night bathroom trips, the weak stream, the discomfort, the loss of confidence. These aren't just the price of aging. They're signals that your body is missing something essential, something fixable. We talked about vitamin D, the anti-inflammation commander, that calms a swollen prostate and restores blood flow. Sometimes within just 18 hours, we explored vitamin E, the cellular repair mechanic that rebuilds damaged tissue and brings the gland back to life. We looked at vitamin C, the detoxifier and collagen builder that supports drainage structure and long-term healing. We saw how vitamin B6 helps your body rebalance hormones and quietly turn down the noise that estrogen creates in an aging male body. And finally, we uncovered vitamin K2, the gatekeeper that directs calcium out of the prostate and back where it belongs, keeping your glands soft, healthy and functional. These 5 nutrients aren't hype, they're not gimmicks. They're the raw materials your prostate has needed all along. And when you give them back to your body responds sometimes slowly, sometimes suddenly, but always in the direction of healing. I've seen it too many times to dismiss. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even late 80s regain control of their bladder, their sleep, their comfort, and even their intimacy, just by nourishing the systems that modern medicine often overlooks the truth. No one tells you after 60 is this: you are not beyond repair. Your prostate is not the enemy, it's a messenger. And when you listen to it, when you feed it, what it's been lacking, you don't just shrink the swelling. You reclaim a part of yourself that you may have thought was gone for good. So my question to you is simple. Are you ready to take that step? Start today. Start small, but start knowing this. Your best years might still be ahead of you, and all it might take is giving your body the right fuel to heal if this video helped you. Or if you believe more men over 60 deserve to hear the truth about their health, consider supporting this channel with a small donation. Every dollar helps me continue creating content that empowers, educates, and restores dignity to men in their later years. Just click the link below to give what you can. Your support means more than you know, and it keeps this mission alive.